Good morning, everyone, and welcome. Thank you for being here today. I am pleased to introduce our presentation on the review of analytical data and laboratory records. My name is Dr. S.K. Singh, and I hold a PhD in this field. Today, we will explore how to effectively review analytical data and laboratory records to ensure accuracy and compliance. Over the next few slides, I'll walk you through key concepts, best practices, and important considerations. Let's get started. Let's talk about the importance of reviewing analytical data and laboratory records. This activity is a cornerstone of quality assurance, ensuring that the data generated in our labs is accurate, reliable, complete, and maintains its integrity. In industries like pharmaceuticals, biotechnology, and healthcare, these records serve as documented proof that testing has been carried out according to approved procedures, regulatory standards, and good manufacturing practices, or GMP. The review process itself is quite systematic. It involves carefully examining raw data, calculations, chromatograms, electronic records, worksheets, logbooks, and audit trails. The goal is to confirm that all analytical results are scientifically valid and properly documented. This thorough review supports confidence in our data and helps us meet the expectations of regulatory agencies such as the FDA, WHO, and EMA, all of whom emphasize strong data integrity practices to safeguard product quality and patient safety. An effective review system isn't just about catching errors. It's also about preventing data manipulation, ensuring traceability, and maintaining readiness for inspections. It aligns closely with the ALCOA Plus principles, making sure our data is attributable, legible, contemporaneous, original, accurate, complete, consistent, enduring, and available throughout its life cycle. By adhering to these principles, we reinforce the trustworthiness of our data. Ultimately, a robust review process is essential. It helps us maintain confidence in our laboratory operations, supports sound batch release decisions, and ensures we stay in compliance with regulatory requirements. It's a fundamental part of delivering safe, effective, and high-quality products to patients around the world. Let's take a closer look at the key objectives we want to achieve. First, ensuring the accuracy, completeness, and reliability of our analytical data is essential. We need to make sure that the data we generate truly reflects the results we're measuring and that it's trustworthy. Next, verifying compliance with good manufacturing practices, good laboratory practices, ALCOA Plus principles, and regulatory expectations is crucial. These standards help us maintain integrity and consistency across our processes. We also need to be vigilant in detecting errors, discrepancies, or any concerns related to data integrity. Spotting these early helps us prevent bigger issues down the line. Confirming that our analytical results support sound product quality decisions is fundamental. Our data should inform and justify the choices we make about product release and stability. And finally, maintaining traceability and audit readiness ensures that we can always back up our data and procedures during inspections or audits. Now, focusing on the regulatory side, the key areas are data integrity, proper documentation practices, and scientific validity. These are the backbone of our compliance efforts. Adhering to approved procedures and maintaining high standards in documentation not only keeps us compliant, but also reinforces the credibility of our scientific work. All of these elements are interconnected and contribute to our overall goal: delivering safe, high-quality products while maintaining the highest standards of integrity and compliance throughout our processes. Now, let's take a look at the key areas where our analytical review applies. First, we have the Quality Control Laboratory, which is the heart of our testing activities. Then, there are stability studies, essential for ensuring product shelf life and consistency over time. Validation studies are another critical area, as they confirm that our methods are reliable and accurate. Environmental monitoring helps us maintain a clean and controlled testing environment, which is vital for accurate results. Microbiology testing is also included, focusing on the safety and microbiological quality of our products. Moving on to the scope of analytical data review, it's important to understand what records are included. We review raw analytical data, which is the primary source of our results. Laboratory notebooks are also scrutinized, as they document the testing process in detail. Chromatograms and spectra give us insight into the analytical profiles, and calculation sheets confirm the accuracy of data processing. Instrument printouts are checked to verify instrument performance, and electronic data and audit trails ensure data integrity and traceability. Additionally, sample preparation records and test worksheets or logbooks provide context for the testing procedures. Certificates of analysis, or COAs, are the final documents that summarize the testing outcomes. All these elements together form a comprehensive picture, helping us ensure that our data is reliable, compliant, and supports the overall quality standards of our products. This thorough review process connects directly to our commitment to quality and regulatory compliance throughout the entire life cycle of our products. Now, let's talk about some additional expectations that really support data integrity. These are important because they help ensure our data remains complete, consistent, enduring, and available throughout the entire process. When data is complete, it means nothing is missing. Consistent means it aligns with our procedures and standards. Enduring ensures the data can stand the test of time, and available means it's accessible when needed. These principles are crucial because they directly support product quality, help prevent regulatory observations, and ultimately ensure patient safety. Moving on to the core principles of data integrity, we follow the ALCOA+ principles. These are the foundational rules that guide us in maintaining trustworthy data. The data should be attributable, meaning we can trace who made each entry, legible, so it's easy to read and understand. Contemporaneous, which means recorded at the time the activity occurs. Original, referring to the initial record of the data. And accurate, ensuring the data truly reflects what actually happened. By following these principles, we create a robust framework that upholds the integrity of our data, which is essential for compliance and for safeguarding patient health. Let's take a closer look at some of the key controls that ensure the integrity and reliability of our data. First, SOP compliance is fundamental. It makes sure everyone follows the same procedures, which helps maintain consistency. Controlled documentation is equally important because it provides a clear and traceable record of all activities. Restricted system access helps prevent unauthorized changes, safeguarding our data's accuracy. Moving on, the analytical data review workflow is a structured process that guides us through reviewing data systematically. The typical review process begins with sample receipt and logging, ensuring everything is accounted for right from the start. Then, tests are performed following the approved methods to guarantee validity. Raw data is meticulously recorded, forming the foundation for all subsequent evaluations. Calculations are verified to prevent errors, and chromatograms or spectra are reviewed carefully to interpret the results correctly. For electronic systems, an audit trail review is essential to track any changes or modifications made during data handling. The second-person review acts as an additional layer of oversight, fostering accountability. Finally, QA approval and proper archiving complete the process, ensuring that all data is both validated and securely stored. All these controls work together to uphold the quality and integrity of our laboratory data, supporting our overall commitment to excellence and compliance. Let's talk about some best practices for documentation that are essential for maintaining data integrity. First, always use indelible ink when recording data. This helps ensure that the information remains permanent and cannot be altered later. It's equally important to avoid leaving blank spaces. This prevents any accidental or intentional omissions. When corrections are necessary, make sure they are single-line corrections. Never scribble over or erase entries. Now, reviewing raw data and documentation is a crucial step. I recommend using a comprehensive review checklist to verify that all data entries are complete and legible. Check that there are no unauthorized overwrites or corrections, which could compromise the data's authenticity. If corrections are needed, they should be signed, dated, and justified, so there's a clear record of why and when changes were made. Additionally, ensure that your test methods and specifications are up to date. This keeps your testing relevant and in line with current standards. Sample IDs must match the worksheets and instruments used to maintain proper traceability. Also, verify instrument IDs and their calibration status to confirm that your instruments are functioning correctly. Finally, all analyst signatures and dates should be available to authenticate the data and document accountability. By following these practices, we reinforce the reliability of our data and support the overall quality of our work. Let's take a closer look at some common errors we often encounter. First, transcription mistakes can happen when data is manually entered or copied, leading to inaccuracies in our records. Incorrect integration is another issue, where the way we combine data or results isn't properly executed, which can skew our findings. Wrong potency factors are also a concern. Using the wrong values can significantly impact the validity of our calculations. Spreadsheet formula errors are quite common, especially if formulas are not checked thoroughly. They can cause incorrect results across the board. Now, moving beyond errors, it's crucial that we review all calculations and results carefully. This includes verifying that formulas are correct, ensuring unit conversions are accurate, and confirming that dilution factors are properly verified. System suitability compliance is another vital aspect, making sure our system performs as expected before proceeding. Also, standard and sample calculations need to be checked thoroughly to ensure consistency. Ultimately, our goal is to confirm that all results meet the specified requirements and standards. By paying close attention to these areas, we can minimize errors and ensure the integrity and reliability of our data. Let's talk about some key data integrity concerns that can arise in our processes. First, unofficial testing is a major red flag. It can compromise the reliability of our data if not properly documented. Repeat testing without a clear justification also raises questions, as it may suggest attempts to manipulate results or cover errors. Backdated entries are another serious issue. They can distort the timeline of data and undermine traceability. Unauthorized changes to data or records are equally problematic, as they threaten the integrity and trustworthiness of our data set. Now, when it comes to reviewing chromatographic and electronic data, there are several critical areas to focus on. Electronic data review involves verifying the accuracy and completeness of data stored electronically. For chromatogram integration, it's important to verify that the integration process was performed correctly and consistently. Audit trail review allows us to track all changes made to data, ensuring transparency. Sequence integrity checks help confirm that the analytical sequences have not been tampered with or altered improperly. Reintegration justification review is essential when reprocessing data, making sure that any reintegration is properly justified and documented. We also need to verify deleted or aborted runs to prevent any missing or manipulated data from going unnoticed. Lastly, reviewing user access and privileges is vital. It ensures only authorized personnel can make changes, helping us prevent unauthorized modifications. All these points connect to our overall goal of maintaining high data integrity. It's about ensuring our data is trustworthy, compliant, and defensible at every step. Let's talk about the regulatory expectations when it comes to investigation. First, it's essential that our investigation is scientifically sound and that we document our conclusions thoroughly. This ensures transparency and compliance with regulatory standards. Next, we need to assess any deviations that occur during testing or manufacturing. Common deviations include instrument malfunctions, method noncompliance, analyst errors, and environmental issues. Recognizing these helps us identify the root cause and prevent recurring problems. When it comes to out-of-specification, or OOS, and other deviations, there are specific review requirements. Immediately documenting and notifying the appropriate personnel is critical. This prompt action allows us to initiate a proper investigation without delay. The investigation itself typically involves multiple phases. First, there's the phase I laboratory investigation, where we look into the lab-related aspects. If necessary, we move into a phase II manufacturing investigation to examine production factors. Determining the root cause is a crucial step, as it guides us in implementing effective corrective and preventive actions, or CAPA. These steps help us address the underlying issues and improve our processes overall. Remember, the goal is to maintain product quality and regulatory compliance through thorough, documented, and scientifically valid investigations. Let's take a closer look at the responsibilities of each role involved in the review process. First, the reviewer has a key role in conducting an independent review. This means they need to thoroughly verify compliance and ensure all calculations are accurate. It's also essential that they confirm that records are complete and up to date. If any discrepancies come up, the reviewer must escalate these issues promptly to prevent potential errors from going unnoticed. Moving on to the analyst, their main responsibility is to perform testing according to the Standard Operating Procedures, or SOPs. Accuracy is crucial here, so they must record data precisely and ensure it's complete. If they observe any abnormalities or issues, they are required to report these immediately, so they can be addressed without delay. Finally, the QA team plays a vital role in the final stages. They give the final approval, which acts as a quality checkpoint before approval is granted. They also oversee the integrity of the data, making sure everything aligns with quality standards. Additionally, QA ensures that all archival and retention policies are followed, safeguarding the information for future reference. Together, these responsibilities form a comprehensive system of checks and balances that uphold the quality and integrity of our data, which is the core theme of this presentation. Each role supports the others, creating a robust process for maintaining high standards. Now, let's take a closer look at some of the potential consequences of regulatory deficiencies. One of the most serious outcomes is receiving FDA warning letters, which can significantly impact your company's reputation and operations. Alongside that, regulatory agencies may issue observations, highlighting areas needing improvement. If these issues aren't addressed, they can lead to product recalls, which are costly and damage consumer trust. In more severe cases, import alerts may be imposed, restricting your ability to bring products into the country. And in the worst scenarios, your product could lose market authorization altogether, effectively removing it from the market. Moving on to common regulatory observations, there are several deficiencies that tend to recur across inspections. For instance, incomplete raw data is a frequent issue, meaning data that's missing or not properly documented, which raises questions about data integrity. Missing audit trail reviews are also common. Without a proper audit trail, it's hard to verify what changes were made and when. Unexplained reintegration of data or materials can also be problematic, as it suggests potential manipulation or unapproved modifications. Uncontrolled worksheets or spreadsheets that aren't properly managed pose risks of errors. Inadequate investigations into out-of-specification results, or OOS, can lead to unresolved quality issues. Sharing passwords or user accounts is another critical concern, compromising data security and traceability. Lastly, failure to review metadata. Information about data such as timestamps or user details can obscure the true history of data and actions. All these deficiencies highlight how crucial it is to maintain rigorous data integrity and compliance. Addressing these issues proactively not only helps avoid regulatory consequences, but also supports overall product quality and patient safety. Remember, the goal is to build a compliant, transparent environment that withstands regulatory scrutiny and fosters trust. Now, let's turn our focus to continuous improvement, which is essential for maintaining high standards in our laboratory practices. One key aspect is monitoring the trending of laboratory errors over time. By tracking these errors, we can identify patterns and root causes, allowing us to implement targeted corrective actions. Next, we need to regularly assess the effectiveness of our CAPA, or corrective and preventive actions. This ensures that the measures we put in place are actually working and preventing recurring issues. Periodic data integrity assessments are also vital. They help us verify that our data remains accurate, complete, and reliable, which is the backbone of good laboratory practice. Moving on to best practices for compliance, implementing robust standard operating procedures, SOPs, is fundamental. Clear, well-documented SOPs guide our team and ensure consistency in every task. Training is equally important. Regularly educating our laboratory personnel keeps everyone up to date with the latest procedures and standards. Using validated computerized systems enhances accuracy and reduces manual errors. But remember, these systems must be properly validated before use. Performing periodic audit trail reviews helps us monitor changes and maintain data integrity within our systems. Controlled access management is another critical point. Limiting access to authorized personnel helps protect sensitive data and prevents unauthorized modifications. Internal audits and self-inspections are powerful tools for identifying gaps and ensuring continuous compliance. Lastly, maintaining good documentation practices and strengthening our quality assurance oversight are vital for transparency, accountability, and ongoing improvement. Together, these best practices form a comprehensive approach to ensuring our laboratory remains compliant, accurate, and reliable over time. Let's wrap up by emphasizing that analytical data review is truly critical for ensuring product quality and maintaining compliance with regulatory standards. When we accurately document our findings, it not only supports data integrity, but also enhances traceability, making it easier to track and verify information throughout the process. Having an independent review process is key because it helps minimize the risk of errors and noncompliance, providing an extra layer of assurance. Regulatory agencies are increasingly expecting us to have robust oversight of our laboratory activities, which underscores the importance of these review systems. When implemented effectively, they not only help us stay inspection-ready, but also directly contribute to patient safety by ensuring our products are consistently reliable. So, in the bigger picture, thorough and independent review processes are essential for maintaining high standards, meeting regulatory expectations, and ultimately protecting those who rely on our products. For further support, please don't hesitate to reach out. We're here to help you with any questions or additional resources you might need. Feel free to contact us through the provided channels. And with that, I want to sincerely thank you all for your time and attention today. Your engagement makes all the difference. Thanks again, and I look forward to connecting with you soon.